welcome back to the episode of Last Day on Earth. Today we're into, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, with none other than a smorgasbord of newness coming your way. We got a brand spanking new location with a brand spanking new event that I cannot wait to cover, not to mention some new crates in the form of Easter packs that we gotta go ahead and pop out open. Season 36 is well underway, and to go along with it all, a brand new adventure also awaits us in none other than Bunker Bravo. So without further ado, get some patooties in those seats, pop some popcorn, and be prepared for a magnificent time coming your way today. So first, we've got a bunch of these Easter packs that have dropped a little bit early because Easter is like the first week of April, and it's like still the middle of March, but regardless, we got some brand spanking new Easter packs over here that we can go ahead and open up with none other than a brand spanking new outfit with literally carrots for grenades. Who doesn't want carrot grenades? Answer nobody, because everybody wants carrot grenades. We got a new backpack as well, both of which that we're gonna be showing off, and our luck is absolutely impeccable throughout this opening because for whatever reason, dude, so far I've had like 2 Sakura seedlings throughout the entirety of my Last Day on Earth career, and I don't know how to say this, but we literally get like 10 of them throughout this opening, which is insane to me. But yeah, so we're gonna use those to go to decorate the courtyard over in our base, but that so far is both of our Sakura seedlings. We're gonna be throwing like all of our Sakura seedlings over there. Unfortunately, I do not have a time machine. I cannot fast forward into when these things are actually fully grown, but I can go to show y'all where they are planted, and then next time when we are playing some Last Day on Earth, I'll show y'all the finished product of just how beautiful our courtyard is looking. So make sure to subscribe with the notification bell hit, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, because as y'all know, anytime there's something new coming to Last Day on Earth, we're always covering it absolutely ASAP and showing off all that LDoE has to offer, whether it's news about upcoming updates or whether it's the updates themselves as they drop in the game. And not just that, we're covering them and showing them off so that y'all know exactly what to expect out of any new things coming to the game, so y'all can hopefully be as prepared as possible, or of course try to have an absolute blast along the way. To go along with that, season 36 well underway, and season 36 has seen a little bit of a change as well. First off, marks of excellence are going away in about a week, so we're gonna do a massive opening of these before they are gone forever, because I mean, I'm gonna miss them a little bit because you get some pretty good rewards throughout some of these boxes over here, depending on how lucky you are, not to mention some skins over here on the left that you may have missed out on in the past. But some of this functionality through the left side of things has actually migrated over to the seasons, and now the crates that you're going to be able to find throughout the seasons are going to be none other than variations of the infinite packs that are going to have various items inside of the top 6, but then the bottom 3, the rare, very rare, and extremely rare item, are actually all going to be backpack and motorcycle skins that you don't have. So these packs are going to be specific to everybody playing the game. They're like, what y'all are seeing out of my infinite pack is probably going to be different from what y'all are going to be seeing out of your own, because what you are going to see is skins that you have missed out on in the past. So I do really like that about these packs, is that they're essentially giving you a great opportunity and a lot of chances at getting skins that you have missed out on in the past. And then once, for example, I get the Roost backpack from opening up some of these infinite packs, essentially what's going to happen is that then that'll be replaced by another backpack I may have missed out on throughout some of the past years of LDoE. So very cool thing there. On the bummer side of things though, season 36 has, for whatever reason, pretty much there's no new items available in season 36. There's no new decorations, no new skins, no new outfits, no new anything. All right, we do still have, and I do love this ever since I think last season it began, 3 free extremely rare weapon mod blueprints available on the free-to-play side of the season pass, which is really cool because extremely rare blueprints are extremely rare to come across. But other than that, I mean, just scrolling through things here on the lickety split, really nothing too crazy, like nothing that wild standing out to me. Love the chance at some air filters over there at level 14, but scrolling through, you get some armor, car battery at 22, a little bit of coins along the way, gas cylinder at 32, some armor as well, you know, scattered here and there. High-tech components are always going to be nifty. 10 carbon composites over at 44, also pretty cool. Do like to see another chance of getting the flamethrower. This is a very rare weapon that so far has like really only appeared inside a season passes like very intermittently, so hopefully that keeps on appearing, because like, listen, flamethrowers, who doesn't like throwing flames? And the usual chopper parts near the end of the pack. We got a propeller, we got an ATV transmission, and that about wraps it up for season 36. That is well underway. Now, as I did say, before we can get to the newness that awaits us in none other than the new Shipyard location and the event associated with that, first things first, we do need to make our way through none other than Bunker Bravo. Now, luckily, the timing of this, chef's kiss, impeccable. Do you want to know why? Because currently, at this very moment, lads and lassies, there is a little bit of an event going on that not only will be rewarding us for our Bunker Bravo expeditions, but on top of it, our Kalashnikov 47 is going to be doing 25% more damage inside of Bunker Bravo. All the enemies are going to have half the health that they usually do, and the contamination we are going to be getting from radiation will be cut in half as well. If there's ever been a time to do Bunker Bravo, it would likely be now. Now, the reason that I say likely now is because there have been better versions of this event in the past, specifically that instead of boosting the power of the AK-47, actually go and boost the power of the M16. And the reason I say this is because the M16 usually easier to get than the AK-47. The M16 is usually good enough to get you through the first floor of Bunker Bravo, through floor number 2, because honestly, once you get to floor numbers 3 and 4, things do get a little bit more difficult, and usually you gotta move your way up to an AK unless you have some of the proper medications to make your way through things. Star, what are you talking about? I'm talking about things like anti-radiation pills, which bring down your radiation exposure, or anti-rad, which actually makes you take less radiation in throughout the course of the floors. Now, if this is your first time going through Bunker Bravo, I'll go and try to give you all a quick little rundown here once we make our way down into the depths. But long story short, there is a better version of this event that pops up, in my opinion, that boosts the power of the M16. And the reason I say that is just because, like, I'll show you all the modifications I have on my AK-47. The best version of the AK-47 is a little bit more complex than, in my opinion, the best version of the M16 in terms of trade-off between recoil, DPS, critical damage, all that type of jazz. Like, my go-to AK, as y'all can see here, has 4 extremely rare weapon mods and 1 common mod. As we just went over in the season pass, like, extremely rare weapon mods are a little bit extremely rare to find. Common mods, on the other hand, a lot more common, and also the common mods are usually a lot cheaper to assemble, which is why I kind of like the M16 version of this event a little bit more, because the M16, in my opinion, 3 out of the 4 best mods that you can put on that thing are common mods, meaning that it's going to be a very affordable and very good bang for your buck for modifying the M16, and then, you know, buffing it a little bit more, along with enemies' health being cut in half, and then radiation being cut in half as well, is huge. Now, the reason that I say that is because you, as you make your way through outer floor, are going to be accruing radiation. Now, if y'all can't infer, that's a bad thing. You usually don't want to collect radiation, all right? This isn't a freaking collectible card game. Radiation, no bueno, okay? And long story short, as you are making your way through these floors, you slowly do pick up radiation. Now, for example, here, I'm going to go ahead, and we do have a few modules here. Now, my favorite modules when going through here are going to be opening up the locks, which is very expensive to unlock. This one usually requires some lead, but luckily we are pretty well off inside of the world of Last Day on Earth. That is usually my go-to on every single floor, because you pretty much get extra loot on every single floor. But besides that, Patrol Cancel is my second favorite, and after that, I kind of do like deactivation of turrets, but regardless, boom, let's activate the safety system. And then as soon as we cross this doorway, we are going to start picking up radiation. Once we pick up enough radiation on a floor, which is essentially this meter over here going up, we will start, our maximum health will start going down a little bit, and then eventually it goes down a lot at a time. And unless you are able to mitigate the effects of that with things like anti-rad pills, which you take once you are taking radiation, or anti-rad, which you kind of take prior to picking it up, because, like, long story short, as soon as we step over here, y'all can see we're getting 5 radiation per second. If we took the anti-rad, oh no, a toxic spewer, get that heck out of here. If we took the anti-rad, we would be a little bit better off in that regard. Okay, come on, can I just get, like, okay, I'm just gonna let him, like, mow down this turret over here. I didn't have to mow down the turret, but I did. We got a toxic spewer over here that we definitely want to go ahead and take on down. And dude, the thing about Bunker Bravo that is so obnoxious is that it's essentially, you're picking up radiation throughout the entire floor, and, like, all of the zombies are, like, designed from the ground up to slow you down. And now here's what I just really quickly want to do is, okay, you know what, whatever, I just, like, okay, I just want to try and ideally avoid, oh, get that out of your riot zombie. Like, when he's got his shield up, I literally can't do anything except stab him with my knife, but then hopefully once he puts that shield down, there you go, a be able to go ahead and mow him on down. Let's just go ahead and barrel past that turret. Boom, 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 boom. Make our way through there. And I just don't want to deal with the turrets. That's why I try usually not to activate the turret ability, just because like usually with the turrets, you're kind of able relatively well to make your way past all of the turrets. Here's the thing. We're going to go ahead and double on back for that zombie protecting that chest. Because long story short, if you don't have to fight a zombie, you don't want to fight a zombie until you have beaten the floor. Because right now, this entire time while we are doing all of this, we are picking up radiation. And as I did say earlier, radiation, not something that you really do want to be picking up. You got to watch out for all these vents over here. Toxic darters are absolutely obnoxious, by the way, because toxic darters are always going to be dishing out 40 damage per hit. Doesn't matter what armor you are wearing, toxic darters will always do that same amount of damage to you, which is seriously no bueno if you ask me. But regardless, we are chugging our way forwards and making our way through everything that the game is throwing at us. Let's take down that spear before he's able to spew. Let's take down this exploder before he's able to get too close to us, and then take down the parasites. Unfortunately, with enemies like the explosive zombie and the exploder. And here's the thing, our patrol cancel locked up this door. We don't have to face those zombies, which is kind of nice because they can be definitely a little bit on the annoying side. Hello, Stormtrooper. Oh, no, 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 no. Let's go ahead and try to hit some jukes and not get caught up in all those guys. But yeah, guys like the explosive zombie and the exploder, they have to explode before they die. Like it's non-negotiable, dude. Like they are going to blow up before they die. But as y'all can see, the power of the AK-47 is on full display over here. And keep in mind, the AK-47 right now is 25% more powerful than it usually is, which is like the craziest thing about this all. Let's go ahead and chow down a little bit of food over there. And then hello. We got 3 zombies that we gotta go ahead and take on down before we are able to face the boss. Before our friend, our comrade, the Liquidator, makes his way through. Luckily, thanks to the power of the event going on, he is already gonna be at half health, and we are able to distract him with the power of turkeys, because the Liquidator is a very confused zombie. The Liquidator thinks that it is Thanksgiving 24/7, and he is always going after some turkeys. But guess what? Turkeys also make for the perfect distraction, and the faster we can take down the Liquidator, the faster that our feathered friends can survive. And with that, two turkeys are able to survive. Star, I always get these comments in the comment section. Star, but why don't you save the bigger turkeys? Why don't you save the chunky turkeys? That is because they are a little bit rude. As you can see, I am being pecked. I prefer not being pecked personally, you know? So yeah, usually I just let the normal turkeys run interference, and I let those turkeys stay in their cage. Those guys they're in a cage for a reason. They're lethal. They might only be pecking me for 5 damage at a time, but you still gotta be a little bit careful on that side. Let's send our first batch of loot topside, and then let's make our way down to the very next floor. And as you can see, the ease of doing things with these AKs, mwah, absolutely chef's kiss. But if you are ever thinking of doing Bunker Bravo, when an event like this is going on, is usually your time to shine. Now, I would say normally you want to wait for that M16 event when the M16 event is going on, because the M16 event is gonna be giving your M16s a little bit extra oomph, a little bit extra power, and they are, as I did mention a little bit earlier, better bang for your buck as a weapon. But even if you don't have them, or like even if that's not the perk that's going on, like it doesn't matter what weapon you're using. Bunker Bravo, while this event is going on, zombies health cut in half. Your radioactivity that you are collecting cut in half. I did not have to worry about radioactivity at all throughout that first floor that we are running through. And to be fair, I do also have our Seaburn combat armor on, but even with that on, like, or even like with that off, I mean, I'll just go and like let's get a little bit naked over here. Like, why the heck not? Even with that off, like, I will still be able to, oh, you know what we should do actually really quickly? All right, we'll go back to the second floor. We still got to collect our loot from the opened up lock. We can do that a little bit later. Let's just kind of run with the same things that we were running over here. But I'm just gonna go ahead and cross the threshold, and I'm only collecting 7 radiation per second. I am quite literally butt naked. I am collecting 7 radiation per second. And like if I put the armor on, it only brings it down to 5. Like usually you're collecting 15 rads per second. So seriously, like it doesn't even matter what armor you are rocking, man. If this event is going on, it is your time to shine. And it is my time to shine and mow down some of these zombies thinking that they stand a chance against me. No, not my crafting menu got started. I want to go and make our way over here so we can toss another weapon into the backup slot, because even though we got all these things going for us, half as much radiation as usual, half as much others, like half as much freaking, whatchamacall, radiation, half as much health for the zombies as usual, you're still on a timer. Even though we're able to kill enemies a lot faster and we don't have to worry about time as much because we are taking less radiation than usual, you still don't want to loiter around too much, man, because if you wait long enough, eventually your maximum health will start to go down, and after that starts going down enough, and you might see that on this floor, because this floor is a little bit longer just due to the boss battle being a little bit more of a difficult boss battle. Actually, in my opinion, the most difficult boss battle in the entirety of whatchamacallit, Bunker Bravo. Come on, Riot Zombie, please put that shield down, brother. There you go. Thank you very much. You might see our maximum health start to go down. It starts chipping down like 2 maximum health at a time, but after it goes down far enough, man, like that thing starts to go down in like 20s. I kid you not. It's not often that I've run into that happen just because we're usually pretty good about absolutely hauling our booties through this thing, but there's still something you just want to be like a little bit wary of, you know what I'm talking about. But all right, we got a fresh slew of zombies thinking that they can take us down. We got a chest over there that we will be returning for. Do not worry, do not stress, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We just do not want to be wasting time collecting loot when we are collecting radiation. Because after you finish the floor, you can still go back and do all, you can still go back and loot the floor. There's only one loot, and that only pops up if the opening locks or terminal is activated. That those guys over there are locked up, as I did mention. So it just kind of makes sense to hold off until a little bit later on. And now here's the thing. Once you get to this area, you want to shoot this turret on the left because the turret on the right is going to be a heavy turret. Twice as much health, a little bit more deadly. You want to be careful about that. And then essentially, you can just kind of sneak your way past these turrets and not even like worry about them at all, really. And then you can just kind of like, looking at the minimap, I'm trying to like squeeze through that turret and that turret. We want to take down this turret over there. Again, one of those weaker turrets. Boom, he is down. Boom, slasher down. Boom, screamer down. And then if you hug the wall opposite to that turret, you're just able to squeeze on by. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And boom! With that, most of the floor is complete. Let's get a little bit of food up in our bellies. Num, num, num. And we're gonna have a boss battle up in here. Now, just think about this boss battle. He summons enemies once he goes down to 800, 600, 400, and 200 health. Due to the event that is going on, these enemies will automatically be summoned. Also, really quickly, it appears that I have, and listen, we're not taking a lot of radiation, so like, YOLO, man, whatever. It appears like I do have a extremely valuable cargo to claim right now, so I'm just gonna skip that. Confirm that, because when this event is going on, it's prime time to be going on, and boom! Love to see 3 carbon composites coming our way. Thank you. And now all the points that we are collecting will start going towards even more leveling up our cargo and stuff. But all right, boom! We walk in here. We're dealing with Dr. Dread. We don't want to bring him under 400 health quite yet. And you also want to be careful because every few seconds, Dr. Dread will go ahead and yell, and he will stun you and do a lot of damage to you unless you're on the opposite side. Like, you want to be opposite of Dr. Dread, right? Oh, and dude, these riot zombies are the absolute worst because there's like a freaking conga line of them. But you want to either be outside of his range. Oh, beautiful. Oh, that was almost beautiful for a second. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. There you go. We got one down. We got one down. We got one down. Ah, I thought I could get. Oh, let's watch out. It's outside. Yeah, you either got to be outside of the range of his yell, or you got to be on the opposite side of this pillar, which essentially serves as a wall protecting you from what he does. And long story short, all these riot zombies are out, which do come out at 800 health. You just kind of want to play a little bit of ring around the rosy with them because you do not. Oh, yeah. Come on, bro. Okay, no, we put a shield up, bro. Come on. This is why I hate, like, that's the thing with dealing with 3 riot zombies at the same time, dude. Like, if you have bad luck, and I've literally had videos before where, like, I've had the worst luck imaginable with these guys, and, like, I kid you not, like, I've literally run into, okay, we gotta be a little bit careful over there. Let's bring Dr. Dread a little bit above 200 health, because what I'm gonna go ahead and do here is essentially we can just kind of skip the battle with the last person. All that we gotta do is let him do his, like, little yell. Take him down, and sayonara. See you later, alligator. We have a slasher chasing after us, but if we go ahead and make our way and leave the floor, the slasher will disappear and we can save a little bit of weapon durability, potentially a little bit of medical supplies, and a little bit of other things here and there, and survive just fine. So there you have it. We have cleared out floor number 3. Easy peasy lemon squeezing. Again, the power of the Bunker Bravo event is on full display. You bloody love to see that right there, and you bloody love to see some of what we're gonna be collecting right here, because now that we have finished the floor, we don't have, I mean, I still gotta worry about these turrets over here, so ooh, you know what I'm gonna go ahead and maybe do? I'm gonna take the long way so I don't get shot at by these turrets. That is the one thing about not deactivating the turrets with one of those 2 terminals you get to activate. You might be like, Star, but I don't have those, like, I just started Bunker Bravo. I don't have any of those as terminals I can activate. You have to repair them topside in the lobby. There's a little room to the left of the elevator. You gotta repair some of those different modules, right? And the opening locks one, which unlocks this room right here, is the most expensive. It literally requires lead, which usually the main method of acquiring that, boom, look at some of the things we get out of that. Main method of acquiring that is gonna be from doing the swamp. And the thing with doing the swamp is you need the ATV, and the thing with doing the ATV is usually doing Bunker Bravo is kind of one thing that you do to try to unlock the ATV. Now, there are a few ways of getting lead, like for example, I believe throughout the cargo event, if you're a little bit lucky, you get your hands on some lead, you can get it through some like events that pop up here and there. So there are a few opportunities to collect it, and if you can collect it enough to unlock that opening locks module, right? Like this one that we have active right over there. Before starting Bunker Bravo at all, fantastic bang for your buck, because likely you're doing Bunker Bravo to get like, you know, gas cylinders and car batteries for unlocking your unlocking and building your ATV, you know? So if you can kind of like knock that out a little bit early, man, you can just start just getting extra loot along the way, which is pretty cash money if you ask me. Now, all right, we're back on floor number 3. I did say I gotta go ahead and double back lickety-splickety on the quickety to collect some of what we got in this chest, especially because the extra lock chests are extra cash money on floor 3 and 4. On the second floor, we got an extra carbon composite and a hazmat armor, which is kind of cool. But on this floor, we're gonna be getting an extra ATV car battery, and on the next floor, an extra ATV gas cylinder, man. Those are some rare resources to be collecting. I mean, even the gas cylinder itself, man, boom, you love to see that. The gas cylinder itself, I mean, y'all kind of saw, that's something that you get like once per season if you're lucky. So it's definitely pretty freaking valuable. And the fact you can kind of double down, because you do usually get one from the normal loot from Bunker Bravo, but if you open up that extra side room via that lead activated module, you can get even more, which is like, it's pricey. It's an investment up front, but the returns on it, mwah, chef's kiss, what can I say? Nah. Let's go ahead and heal on up a little bit with our ability there as we prepare to make our way down to the last floor. Now, here's the thing. In my opinion, this is the hardest floor. The last floor usually zooms, usually flies by a little bit faster, in my opinion, but that is just my opinion. That is just the way I do things. Maybe it's due to the methodology and the methods that I utilize throughout clearing Bunker Bravo. And if that's the case, yo, take notes. Make sure you're subscribed, baby. All right, so you can be taking notes. So you can even go ahead and take notes while we are doing things live and asking me questions while we're doing things live. Start, what are you talking about? That's right, baby. We are live every single Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Twitch.tv/Starsnipe. We're live every single Friday playing Last Hour, having a ball, having a blast. Link at the very top of the description. If you don't know what time that starts, your local time zone. Twitch.tv/Starsnipe schedule. Also a link in the description. A pin comment will be able to go ahead and help you locate that once you know what time that we are starting. 1 week, you know what time that we are starting every single week, because we're always starting at the same time, same place every single week, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We got the face cam on. We got the live chat rolling. We're always having a blast, having a ball, playing Last Hour. You can literally interact with me and the entire community as we are doing things live. So y'all can literally ask me questions and get my thoughts on things and just have a blast along the way, which is super freaking cool. Love being able to interact with y'all live. Love being able to record videos also, and just being able to, you know, have a blast on YouTube as well, because videos anyone can watch at any time. Live streams, you know, you kind of got to be there same time, same place as the live stream is going on. You can watch it back a little bit later always, you know, you can watch the live streams back later in time, but you know, it's not the same as being there live, because getting that, like, you know, live to live, you know, live interaction is pretty freaking cool. So hopefully I do see some of you folks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls over there, for some extra LDoE content and an extra little bit of fun. But without further ado, it's gonna be fun clearing out this floor, baby. What's up, Juggernaut? Goodbye, Juggernaut. Our weapon has broken. Let's go to get a backup AK up into there, and let's continue making our way through this floor. The riot zombie has his shield up. You, sir, are the worst. I despise riot zombies for that, man. Like, they slow you down, especially if they're like in a narrow corridor or something. The fact they can slow you down. But the nice thing is, if they are at half health, at least they do die a little bit quicker, so they don't have a chance to get that shield up while they're, like, you know, a few health away. Once you start mowing them down, man, you should be able to do a good chunk of damage to them. But the power of the AKs, man, are on full display, especially with that 25% buff and boosted to damage. The power of the AK's absolute insanity. I think the fetid corpse just farted, but for whatever reason, it oh, we got a few fetid. I think we got 2 fetid corpses following me over here. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know why. I guess my game's glitching and I am not actually seeing the clouds of gas, and I'm not taking damage due to the fact that I got this Seaburn combat helmet. But the problem is, because that protects you from like gases and stuff like that. Slight problem with that though is that means that helmet is going to decay a little bit faster than the rest of our armor, because it's also protecting us from from that other aspect of hazardous material. So I gotta be ready to go and swap in a brand spanking new thing pretty soon here, because our helmet is literally seconds away from breaking. I looked at that durability manifest. I think, yeah, there you go. Boom, look at that, called it. Our helmet is nice and broken. Let's go and throw out. I mean, we got an extra helmet freaking from just a few floors down. Let's go and throw that thing down. Hopefully we're not butt naked by the time we get to the boss battle. Worst case, hey, it'll be a little bit fun, a little bit of a challenge. You know, who doesn't want to fight a freaking boss inside of a heavily radioactive Chernobyl-like zone while naked, you know? I don't know about you, man. That sounds like a blast to me. But get it, because there was just a blast from the explosive zombie. I'm a funny guy. Y'all are funny, locked up in there. Love not having to deal with you guys, especially because like the turrets on this floor, not as bad to deal with. You can usually run by these guys a little bit faster, which is kind of nice because you just gotta kind of hug that wall right there. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and whoop. Let's zoom by that. We got a slasher over here. Take him down before he gets hit off on us, because he would have caused extensive bleeding, because the power of the slasher, we'll come back to the chest, is that he's literally just able to cause bleeding that persists, and I would rather not have persistent bleeding affecting me. That does not sound very cash money if you ask me. Let's take down that slasher over there. Let's take down an exploder over there. Oh no, I am butt naked. We've got to clear this floor pretty quick, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't have any armor except for my little bunny hood over here. Oh, and of course we come across a riot zombie, like the one enemy I do not want to be coming across at this very instance. That is, that's very cool. Okay, there you go. He put the shield down. We are going to have to fight the final boss of Bunker Bravo. The radiation isn't too bad. Hopefully it won't take too much damage, because the damage is where the suffering will come in. Anytime you do this boss battle, you just want to come in and turn those two screws right there. And then you essentially just want to keep your distance. You don't want to get too close to that bulbous mass of flesh in the corner, because it will literally fart on you and damage you. You just gotta want to keep your distance, and boom, you can take it out safely from a distance. If you get too close, again, it will start damaging you, but if you keep your distance, you can just go ahead and wail away at it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Just watch out for some of those explosives that it throws out that become parasites. Don't want to get caught in the blast radius. You know, move around, shuffle around a little bit, don't get caught up in that, and you should literally just be able to hold down the fire button. You're either shooting a parasite that's approaching you rapidly, which is good because you don't want parasites rapidly approaching you, or you're shooting the bulbous mass of boss that you want to die as soon as possible. And bada bing, bada boom, Bunker Bravo! Our mission is complete. Let's go and look at the spoils of our war, and then it is my pleasure to say we have got a new location and a new event to check out now. But first, we got a chest over here that I promised on checking out. Boom, gas cylinder. We also got some armor as well, which I will go ahead and take and throw some of that stuff on. Might as well. I'm butt naked after this fiasco, so might as well be just chest naked, you know, a lot less naked than I was before. And we are gonna have a ton of loot topside that we definitely want to go ahead and claim. So without further ado, let's, I mean, the loot's already been sent topside. We've done everything that we got to do inside of these floors. Let's go back up to floor number 1, the lobby. And I can show you all that room I was talking about a little bit earlier. You can go ahead and repair some of those modules, see their effects in action and stuff like that. So you can activate up to 2 modules per thing, per floor. And those are just gonna be over here in this room. I've already repaired a good chunk of them. There are still, a few over here that I could still repair. I just haven't, because I already have kind of like my favorite permutations, my favorite modules to use, but I suppose I could still repair those sometime in the future and show their effects off a little bit. But regardless, we've got 3 big old stashes of loot from 3 big old floors. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, boom! The second floor is bringing our way some carbon composites, factory parts, engine parts, gun oil. Pretty solid stuff, all things considered. I mean, like, is it worth the hassle of the entire floor? Depends. You know, if the M16 event's going on, I kind of think the M16 event is worth the bang for your buck. If it's not going on, a little bit more sketchy at that point. But, I mean, pretty good things that you can get along the way, especially because carbon composites and factory parts are pretty hard to find outside of, like, recycling weapons and stuff like that. Boom, floor number 3. 4 car batteries. That is a lot, man. Bunker Bravo is like the go-to way of getting car batteries. Outside of this, you can, if you have your chopper up to level 40, go to junkyard events, and if you are lucky, you can actually get a car battery outside of the or inside of the junkyard event, but nowhere near being guaranteed. You definitely got to be a little bit on the lucky side to get that, and boom, floor number 4, another gas cylinder, some more of those parts. Love to see the steel plates, and just overall a bunch of things coming our way. So don't diddly mind if I diddly take a diddly ton of that? And really quickly as well, let's go and throw some of that. I mean, I'm not, obviously my inventory is a little bit full, as y'all can tell, so I'm not gonna be able to take all this back in one go. I will have to go ahead and come back for the rest of the stuff, but we can go ahead and do that after we get to the newness that I was talking about. Boom! What y'all are seeing here was shared by the developers of Last Day on Earth with the caption, "Hello survivors, time to share our plans for March. This month we'll be releasing an update in which we'll be celebrating the beginning of spring with a new in-game event, but for the most part the update will contain technical and visual changes to make the game more comfortable. It doesn't mean that we will only focus on the behind the scenes part of the game, however. For example, right now we're working on the next big update that will be introduced in the game a bit later. We'll talk about it in more detail in the future, and there you'll have that announcement from the developers. But more importantly, I want y'all to pay attention to the photo that was attached to this announcement. Now, what we are seeing in this photo is captioned short-term plans, and the short-term plans that they detailed in that little text blurb that I was talking about. Long-term plans, I think it was made very clear that they are working on some sort of a big update, but this picture is titled short-term plans, and we did hear about the short-term plans, including some sort of a new in-game event, and this image, this photo is showcasing something that we have literally never before seen in the game. What we are seeing is a few things. So, but most obviously, a massive ship at the back of what appears to be some sort of like a shipyard type of location. But this does not seem to be the same as the port. This does appear to be a little bit distinct because it appears to be much more sophisticated and focused on like shipping. Tons of like, you know, forklifts and containers and shipping containers, followed by a huge cargo ship over there in the background, not to mention the drone flying around in the air too, which is a very interesting twist on things, and I do wonder how that does come into play, all things considered. But nonetheless, very interesting things in what appears to be showcasing a new location, because we have seen that something similar to that ship inside of the port. There's kind of like a ship docked by the laboratory, but like not near all these shipping containers like this. This appears to be seriously showcasing some sort of a new location, and the new location would be a perfect place to have a new event taking place. So that is one very large likelihood of what this image over here is depicting. Now, on the other hand, the caption might be a tad bit misleading. The short-term plans might just be talking about, you know, the announcement in general as an attention getter, while the image in the background maybe is talking more about the big update that the developers are talking about. Now, that also makes sense. Seriously, both of these things are very likely in my opinion, because as we know, lately the updates have been focused on the story mode. Act 2 is complete. What does that mean? Likely the next big update that we are getting is going to be unlocking Act 3. What does Act 3 involve? Act 3, the vehicle of Act 3 appears to be the boat. Each act is associated with a vehicle. Throughout Act 2, we unlock and use the minivan. Act 1 kind of steers us through the intro of the game and directs us towards building the chopper, whereas Act 3 over here is focused around the boat, which means that it's going to likely be taking place on coastal waters, which likely means it's going to be taking place up in the northern areas. And then if we look at the images in the background, like Act 2, for example, image in the background is an image of this settlement, you know, and then if we Act 1 is just kind of like a generic image, whatchamacall, of the bunker, because again, kind of like Act 1 ultimately culminates in you being directed towards the bunker and kind of like working through bunker to then unlock the chopper. Now, the thing is, the image in the background of Act 3 actually is none other than the harbor, or what appears to be some sort of a harbor. Again, further indicating and hinting towards this big update, kind of focusing around the northern areas and being a coastal slash water slash boat oriented act. And now this image that we're seeing here that appears to be teasing some sort of a big old boat at a big old harbor and stuff like that, maybe will be a new location that is included inside of Act 3. So those are two very distinct possibilities, and maybe the power of that thing, hey, I mean, it's very likely maybe that's the boat that ultimately unlocks the ability for us to reach the oil rig. Currently, the oil rig says that we need a helicopter to get up there, but honestly, I think that is, I mean, it's subject to change. The developers can always change it, and it seems like something that, I mean, having a big old boat being able to get us to an oil rig does seem like something that I could, like, it seems realistic if you think about it, because I mean, everything in game is subject to changes the developers see fit. The only reason the oil rig currently is locked behind the helicopters because it's the only vehicle we don't have access to. So if they don't want us to access the oil rig yet, they have to lock it behind a vehicle, and that vehicle has to be the helicopter. So that is subject to change, and it makes sense for us to get to a location on water by some sort of a boat. So perhaps this boat that we are seeing in the background is going to kind of be one of the parts of Act 3, and ultimately this location, this boat, are going to be an integral part in Act 3, and ultimately the path towards the oil rig. So a few distinct possibilities with what is going on with this boat and with this location. Quite a lot of things and quite a lot of possibilities, and quite an exciting future coming into Last Hour. So definitely let me know what y'all think in that comment section down below about either of these. Which one do you think is more likely? If you guys think that this location being showed off in this image is a like, you know, one of these events that they're talking about coming in the very next update this month, or if maybe this has to do more so with the story, with Act 3 in the next big update. Seriously, because I'm kind of like split 50-50, so I'd love to hear what the community and what y'all do think of this in that comment section down below. And while y'all are down there, don't forget to smash the like button and let me know that you are enjoying the video, because as a YouTuber, I mean, of course, man, I gain all of my power from likes, and likes are like my blood. They are my lifeblood, okay? And blood is important. You need it to live, I think. I don't know. I ain't no bloodologist, but yeah, so the like would be pretty cool, as every YouTuber on Earth does say. But with that done, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is gonna go ahead and start breaking down this episode of Last Day on Earth. Thank you guys a whole lot for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one. See ya.